Okay, Nasai Minasan, today we're gonna talk about Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger episode 7. Fantastic episode, but I will say it is not as good as when Akase Joe received his Boom X itself. Okay, so I think Akase Joe is like a typical shonen protagonist, and even his story of becoming a Boonboomger is so much more bombastic compared to the one that we get for Genba when he actually henshin into Boon Orange in this episode. Okay, so what do I actually think about this episode in general? I feel like it is definitely a really fun and really good episode, but at the same time it is not as bombastic as what we thought it is from the episode of Akase Joe. I feel like the episode of when Akase Joe actually became a Boonboomger is way much more intense compared to the episode that we got for when Genba became a ranger itself. They have a similar effect, but it also kind of like already help us to see that hey, Genba is gonna step in and help them, so there's nothing like, you know, don't worry about it and all those stuff. So I think that is definitely like the main reason why it felt a little bit of lackluster is because of how they build the story. Because for the story of Akase Joe is like the story, they're telling the story about how Joe only wants to become a superhero because it is cool, not because he wants to save people. He kind of forget his duty as a police officer, and Taya did not recognize him in the first place. But by the end of the episode, Taya recognized him, and that is how he is able to get his hand on the Boom X. But it is different for Genba because Genba from the beginning of the episode, he already has the Boom X and he is able to henshin anytime he wants to save them. So, you know, like the feeling is different a little bit, but I think it's still fantastic and I love it. Okay, I love how Genba like just standing on the sideline watching them fight and like preparing all these tools, all this like trampoline, like preparing the mirror to help them. So it kind of like, when we saw that, I was like, that is really goofy in a sense from the perspective of Genba, because where does he get all this stuff? Like, you know, like how does he has kind of like a hammer dimension with him where he is able to just pull anything out from the hammer dimension? I think that is definitely gonna be really interesting if he does actually have that ability. Okay, but with that being said, I think Genba is definitely a really interesting character. I am really excited. I'm excited to see what is kind of like the future of Genba in the team of Boonboomger, because right now I feel like Akase Joe has fully integrated himself with to becoming one of the more like hyper ecstatic person in the group together with Mina. So like we got Mina and Akase Joe, the hyper active duo, and then we got Chashiro, the collected active guy, and then we got Genba as well. So maybe Chashiro and Genba is definitely gonna be paired up together to become kind of like the cool-headed one in the team, and then for Mina and also Akase Joe is gonna become the hot-headed one, the one that do things before they think. And lastly, we got Taya, the leader. Okay, so in this episode, we don't really get to see an epic showdown between Boonred and also Mad Rex itself, but I think it is still a really fantastic stuff. We actually get to see a fantastic fight between Mad Rex and also Boonred. But in the next episode, their showdown is gonna officially take place on screen for us to see. Okay, I don't think it is they're gonna drag Mad Rex too far into the story itself. But then again, if they defeated Mad Rex so early on in the story so far, I think it is definitely gonna give it like it becomes like there's a need to rush the story. Like they need to keep on introducing new general, new executive to the story itself to kind of like make the story more interesting. more and more. But if they just keep Mad Rex alive for a few more episodes, I think there's definitely gonna be way much more interesting as well. But then again, I'm not sure how the story is gonna go for Boonboomger episode 8 moving forward. But so far, I feel like the series is fantastic. I love it. And speaking of the story, okay, so I actually have a question when I'm actually watching Boonboomger, and that is like, why does Toei decided to show a romance story at this time of the year? It is the around April, so it is nowhere close to Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on February, so why show a romance story right now on April? Right, it does not only happen in Boonboomger, but it also happened in Kamen Rider Gachat as well. So it really makes me stop and think, like, why now? And my biggest conclusion that I can come up with is because it is the beginning of spring, the beginning of a new season, and I felt like that is definitely a significant of a new beginnings, okay, especially with how the sakura flower is actually blooming and everyone is like, wow, okay, like a new starts, a new year, new me type of stuff. So maybe that is what happened, okay, maybe that is the reason why the love actually comes around spring. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it from me. Nothing much to talk about here, but if you have anything that you want to say, leave it in the comment section below. I'll be sure to reply. Be sure to entertain. If you have any comment or anything that I miss out that you would love to discuss, the comment section is your best friend. And with that being said, if you made it this far into the video, you are free to type the word Pokemon in the comment section below, because not gonna lie, when I look at the little car toy, it reminded me of Pokemon, okay, especially like how like they like have multiple cars that they need to collect and all those stuff. So really fun stuff, but Pokemon it is. And lastly, if you still hasn't realized it, Boom Boom voice actress is actually Ash Ketchum voice actress as well. So goodbye, bye bye.